Hi everyone. So today we will look at how to set up XR in your 3D URP template. So in our last few videos, we've been developing this scene here. So this is the demo scene that we created using the XR Interaction Toolkit. So if you were to go into XR Interaction Toolkit, starter assets, this is where this demo scene would be. So we've just kind of built upon it. So for today, we will go back into assets, scenes, and we will create an entirely new scene. So let's go in here. And the first thing we want to do in order to start using XR or setting up our own XR is we will right click, create a 3D object. Let's go ahead and create a plane. Let's go place it at 0, 0, 0, just so we know things are always going to be popping in at the same place. The next thing we want to do is let's go to Edit, Project Settings. So you want to come in here into XR Plugin Management, and if this is not installed, go ahead and install it. And then set up Windows to OpenXR and Android to OpenXR as well. We go through all of this in some of our previous videos, so if you've been following along, you'll have all of this installed. And then under XR Plugin Management, you will have all of these settings. So interaction profiles should have the Meta Quest Touch. Under Android, it should be the same thing, Meta Quest support. And let's go here and let's take out some of these hand tracking subsystems. So we will go in here and we will remove the hand interaction profile. We don't need to use this right now. We're just going to use the Meta Quest Touch Pro controller profile. Let's also bring in the Oculus Touch controller profile. We'll do the same here. We're going to remove this hand interaction profile and just go and add Oculus. And let's remove some of these other items, some of these extra items. Okay, once that's set up, make sure if you go to Window, Package Manager, and go under Unity Registry, XR, XR Interaction Toolkit, make sure this is installed, and under Samples, you have Starter Assets imported. So that's kind of what we've been using. So under the hierarchy, let's go ahead and delete the main camera. We do not need to use this. And if we right click in the hierarchy, XR, XR Origin VR, this is going to add the XR Origin rig. So if you can see here, it comes with your camera offset, main camera, left controller, as well as right controller. So in our case, we already set up a few things in here, but I'm going to run through how we got to this point. So in the left-hand controller, if you go to, you may not have everything here. This might be blank for you, but we will actually go into presets, which is this little this button here, and we will select XR default left controller. Double click that and it should populate all of this for you. We'll do the same in right controller, select preset, double click right controller, and it'll populate all of this here for you. There's a bunch of extra stuff down here. You could always remove it, but we'll just keep it on for now, just so there's no confusion, and we'll remove what we have to as we move along. So let's say every time we bring in an XR origin, we shouldn't have to go into the left controller and right controller and have to set these things up from scratch. So what we could actually do is we can go into assets, or sorry, down here, we can go into assets, samples, XR Interaction Toolkit 2.5.2, starter assets, presets, select the XRI default right controller, and in the inspector, select add to action based controller default. So right now you can see how it's already added. If I remove this, um, it'll show you this add to action based controller default. So just go ahead and do that. And then do the same thing with the left controller. Just make sure it's already added. So in my case, it is already added. That's why it shows remove from action based controller default. Now if we go to edit, project settings, preset manager, you see how here it shows a preset because we added the right controller and left controller, and then I already have left typed here. Up here I'm going to type right. Just type right and left. And what that does is every time you now add XR, XR Origin VR, and you go into left controller, it already comes with all of this pre-populated, which is what you saw at the beginning when I added my XR Origin, because it was already added. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this extra XR Origin. Just delete it. And what we could do is we could actually add, let's say, a little sphere. So 3D sphere, bring it up here, bring it to 0, 0, 0. Let's make this maybe radius 0.1. For the collider itself, and then also for scale, we'll do 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. And then left controller is at 0, 0, 0. So what we'll do is we'll again bring this to 0, 0, 0. And we will add this to the left controller. We'll make a copy and we'll add this to the right controller. You can rename it however you like. So the left controller and the right controller will both have a sphere. So this one for the right controller as well, I'll place at 0, 0, 0. So at this stage, let's go ahead and do a test. So first things first, let's go back into QuestLink on the Oculus Quest. Now, once you're in Oculus Rift, gently lift your headset and press play in Unity. And here we go. Here are the spheres that we added to our hands. We have spheres for hands. And that's our XR interaction setup, manual setup.